What is up, Mav fans and hoop heads? Wish everyone good vibes out there. I'm AG, your host. Welcome on into another episode of Mavs Rundown. Appreciate you all for listening. And unfortunately, you joined me on a night where the Mavs fall to the Houston Rockets 101-92 at home on a second night of a back-to-back, and the team basically they just looked fatigued. They didn't have it. They didn't bring it. They didn't have the juice. Whatever analogy you want to use, or whatever metaphor, that they didn't have it tonight. It's unfortunate because you would think even just missing Luka, which that's the main story. Luka was out tonight. You had Luka, Maxey, and McGee out, and Bertans actually was available and played tonight. And so the starters tonight end up being Spencer, Josh, Green, Reggie, Dodo, and Dwight Powell. So that's the main talking points right there with the starters, who's in, who's out. But even with Luka and Maxey and McGee out, this Maverick team, in theory, should still be able to get a win over the Houston Rockets, who are 3-12 right now on the year, or were 2-12 on the year before this game. So to really lose this one just shows you we just didn't bring it. Great job. You got to give Houston Rockets credit though. They really brought it. They wanted it tonight. They wanted it. And it showed, and their main stat being 19 blocks, which I think is like a season high for all the teams. Had a stat that hasn't happened since the 80s type shit. Where 19 blocks is ridiculous. They got so many athletic, bouncy guys over there, and they just were all swarming the rim. And since we didn't have Luka, man, it just looked ugly. It was at some points. Some points looked good, and a lot of points looked ugly. And we forced them into 23 turnovers. Houston Rockets had 23 turnovers. The Mavericks had 6, and we still lost. Yeah, let that sink in. 23 turnovers to 6, and we still lost. That's crazy. Like, what? That's terrible. We cannot do that. That's just bad. I have the game notes, but honestly, all right, I'm just gonna go through how this happened. In the first, okay, you just started getting giving up offensive rebounds like crazy, like just left or right. Rockets were playing hard, and they just, as I put in here, they looked like they wanted more. You could already tell right off the bat in the first quarter. I wrote this down in the first quarter notes. But Seawood did come in right off the bat, but didn't really do much after that. In the first at least. But the offense, I have a note in here. Offense just looked terrible, man. There were no other sets, no movement running around. Josh Green moves around when he's in there, but like no like sets at all. Like no. Again, the lack of movement. I want motion, more set screens, go screen away, set. There's gonna be more stuff going on, back cuts, other things moving in the offense besides just running the Luka offense whenever Spencer has the ball. Again, Spencer isn't Luka, so you can't expect the same stuff. There needs to be more action going on, so I don't like that. Hey, Dwight got hit or like kneed in his face in the first quarter. He got repaid with a flagrant foul for that one, so hey, drink on that because Dwight Powell really rarely ever gets a foul call in his favor when he gets hit in the face. So, surprisingly. So, he got a flagrant one this time. Yeah, end of the first quarter, it was 31-28. Rockets were up. Tim had at least 3 threes in the quarter. In the second, Davis Bertans, the Latvian laser, came in his first minutes and drained a 3, which was nice. You were like, oh, snap, he's back. Yeah, I remember he was doing some of this in the playoffs. Okay, hitting a 3. And then he gets 3 quick fouls immediately after that. That was so funny. And they pulled him out. Immediately got subbed out. I don't know if he got any. I think he got more minutes. No, that was it. His 3 minutes, 3 fouls, 3 points. So that was his season debut. But yeah, in the second, man, the Mavs started playing a little bit harder though. They went on an 11-0 run, and the Mavs were up 51-42 at one point in the second quarter. Uh, it was really nice at that time. It really looked the Mavs. All right, we gotta turn this up, and we went on a little 11-0 run, and we're up, and then it just all kind of fell apart again. Seawood, it looks like Seawood just he settled way too much on the jumpers. I mean, the whole team did that. As a stat, took 55 threes tonight. That's way too many. He settled for way. I know they were blocking our shots, but man, like 55 threes, that's a lot, and just couldn't get it done. Only shot 21%. Only made 12 or 55 threes. Just that's not good and not gonna get it done. But yeah, Seawood was just settling for way too many jumpers. I feel like he has the height, just athletic, mismatch against so many guys in their team, and he just wasn't using it. At some points when he first came in the game, he was using it. He'd take it to the rack, got an and one and stuff, but like then he was just trying to turn into a jump shooter. Made a couple, started feeling himself, and then like the rest of the game just became a jump shooter. And you just don't want him to do that. You need him to drive to the paint and get some of those floaters, some runners. He's good with the euro. He had a nice euro in the second half. It was pretty good. I think in the fourth quarter too. So just more stuff like that. Help get to the line. Help him get to the line more. How many times did he get to the line tonight? Only 6 free throws. I want to see. I bet he can get up closer to double digits, of course, if he plays more. And tonight was the first time he actually even played over 31 minutes. Of course, we needed it. But anyway, back to the game. So Mavs went on that 11-0 run, 51-42 in the second. And as I said, things fell apart. And by the end of the quarter, Rockets go on a 15-0 run to end the quarter. And they start outplaying the Mavs again like they wanted it. And the Rockets were up 57-51 at the half. 11 points, three rebounds, 2 assists. Seawood, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists at the half. We gave up 30 points in the paint already at halftime compared to our 10. We were like 5 of 17 in the paint. It was bad. It was brutal. Third quarter, Rockets went on a run. Mavs went on a run. Basically, Rockets were up 76-74 at the end of that. Seawood did have 10 points in the quarter though, so he was kind of getting hot. Fourth quarter was really just, man, a lot of up and down stuff. There was some highs with Dodo had a swat on a KJ Martin dunk. That was so nice. And then the lows, we got fourth quarter Campazzo minutes out there with like 5 minutes left, and then they're leaving him wide open for a reason. And he's having no choice but to shoot these shots, and he's bricking. He made a couple earlier, or he made one earlier. How many make? He made one, but yeah, he was only 1 of 6 tonight. He missed 5 more, but you missed a couple there at the end of the fourth quarter, which he did do some other good things in the game, but shooting is just not his strength, and they forced him to do that, which is smart by the Rockets. And they took him. Jake Kidd took him out real quick. And basically at the end of the game, man, which basically throughout the game they were doing this. Whenever we were trying to stop their runs or stop the bleeding or anything like that, the Mavs just could not capitalize on really any good shots. We were even getting open good shots, and we just could not knock them down. We were not capitalizing, especially after stops. And in crucial moments where we need stops, boom, we get a stop. We force a turnover. We do this, especially in the fourth quarter. This was happening a lot. We force a turnover, make them dribble off the, throw it out of bounds or whatever, or get a stop or a shot clock violation, whatever it was. And then we go on the other end and get an empty possession. We don't get any buckets out of it, and it just hurts. It hurts to watch. Hurts as a fan watching it and see this happen. But, hey, man, that's what happens when you just don't bring it. But, shout out to Tim Hardaway and Seawood off the bench, though. Wow, none of the starters over 10 points. I'll get into the negative about this, but I want to go into the good real quick since it's not much. But it's no starter had double-digit points. But Tim Hardaway and Seawood off the bench. Tim Hardaway, 28 points. Seawood, 26 points. Tim Hardaway, 5-3. He was 10 of 26. He was just having to chuck up shots. 10 of 26, 5 of 4 from 3. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Seawood, 26 points. 9 to 22. That's my son over there being crazy. 9 to 22 field goal. 2 of 7 from 3. 6 to 6 from the free throw line. Had 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block. He actually had a 0 in the plus minus. That's crazy. Tim was a -8 though, because his defense wasn't that well. But yeah, they put up buckets off the bench. They came in, kind of did what they had to. They played some of the most minutes besides Reggie and Dodo, but Tim and Seawood off the bench over 30 minutes. They did good, but everybody else just pooped it, man. Like, we just had Dodo and Reggie, the Bang Bros game, and now, Dodo comes out. He's shooting a lot, 3 of 11, 1 of 8 from 3, just could not hit a shot. Did have 8 rebounds, though. And, of course, that nasty block with his 7 points. Reggie Bullock put a 0 for again tonight. He lost all his magic after doing good, at the end of that last game. He was 0 6 from the field. That was all threes. 0 6 3 from 3 tonight. Did get 3 rebounds. I don't even know why I'm mentioning rebounds. Don't even matter. But Dwight Powell didn't really do shit. 7 rebounds. 7 points, 5 rebounds. Not a couple things good, but then again, it's just each player had their good and bad moments, but as a whole, we just played terrible. And speaking of terrible, we're going to Spencer. Sorry, dog, but yeah, you look tired tonight, and he was 3 of 18, 1 of 9 from 3, only 2 free throws, which we can get onto that about why that could be. But did have 10 assists, though. He was out there trying to create. But, when the shot wasn't falling and he can't, get his shot falling, that's why need other guys to really step up. Need more double-figure, points on the board by each player. And nobody, especially in the starting lineup, could get that. Only Tim and Seawood off the bench could get over in double-digit figures. So just hard to see. Josh Green was in the starting lineup, only scored 4 points, all on free throws, didn't hit a shot. He didn't do much with his starting role, which is kind of disappointing. You would hope to see him step up and maybe get some more shine being in the starting lineup now with Luka out, and he didn't really kind of do anything with his time. So that sucked. Off the bench, we already talked about Bertans, his 3 minutes. Frank Ntilikina came in, had some good minutes, 5 points. 2 of 4, had a pull-up jumper, had a 3, pull-up midi jumper, and a 3, and then, he did a couple good things in there, but, I wouldn't consider him third ball handler good in there, but, did some good things here and there. Campazzo, 1 of 7 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. He ends up still crazy in the plus minus if you care about that, +5. It's kind of funny. But finished with 3 points is only 3, but did have 5 assists. He does play make, and he had 3 steals, so doing some good stuff. But the 3 turnovers, that's not good. But the 5 assists, 3 steals, I do like. But overall, the team played terrible. You could definitely tell that we played last night. The fatigue was in. But still, with that, that's not an excuse that they can use. They're still professionals. They should still get paid, just like everybody else. Go out there and hope and get it done. And we just let this young Houston Rockets team come in and kind of whip our butts with their energy. And basically, they wanted it more, and it showed. And big time tonight. And, Mavericks field goal percentage. We shot 30% from the field, not from 3 or anything. 3-point, we shot 21, but from the field, everywhere, 30% total. Just really bad, really, really bad. Free throws at least got a little bit better, 18 of 19. I guess that's the positive. If you want to look at the silver lining of that. Man, that turnover thing is crazy. They made them turn over 23 times, and they still won to our 6. We only turned over 6 to their 12. That's horrible. That's terrible. Fast break points, or even beat them in that. Points in the paint, they were just killing us in the paint. Couldn't stop them. Just bad overall. Bad, bad, bad. This is a disappointing loss. I don't even know. I'm looking over anything else I can talk about. I kind of got most of it out. You'll hear all the other people talk shit about everything else. This is obviously why we need a third ball handler, a for sure guy. Hopefully this kickstart, uh, Nico and the front office to kind of start looking around, making trades. I think it's good to even make a trade here soon because I think if that ends up not working out, if not a big trade, don't give up any first, but just trying to make it a marginal, try to get a third ball handler guy. You could still look at trades again still in February for that guy you just traded for. I believe. I don't want to say, but I'm pretty sure we're still early enough where if we could somehow make a trade with the guys that we do have. For guys that are out there that are available before the was it December 15th I think is when guys contracts are able to start getting traded and stuff like that. So until then, but I think as early if we make a trade now, we'll be able to even trade that person by the February deadline. Maybe you get something better, or you never know, but just something. You can go ahead and make. Basically, what I'm saying is you can mix things up right now, and it won't affect you long term, especially at the trade deadline. Especially if you're not giving up too many assets. If it's just like a swap out, whoever for something small. I can't even think of a trade right now. But basically, you can get a trade off right now and still probably be able to trade that player by trade deadline, or make some other moves or whatnot. But definitely, hopefully the front office wakes up. This is a wake-up game, not only for the team, but to the front office and be like, yo, we gotta mix things and we gotta figure something else out because this is not working. Again, we could revisit my Hornets trade, go after Gordon Hayward, maybe Dennis Smith or Terry Rozier in that or something like that. I don't know, but hey, definitely, hopefully they're working the phones or something because these losses against these bad teams, it's not gonna cut it. It's really not, and all this stuff is right now is gonna add up at the end of the season. Luckily, it's still way early enough for the Mavs to hopefully figure things out, but they definitely got to figure things out for sure because we have to bring it against everybody. Because even the bad teams can get obviously, as the Mavs have seen, but the bad teams, quote unquote bad teams, are still stacked with talent. You got Orlando. They didn't have Paolo, but they still have, what was it, Bobo and Mobamba and all these like just lengthy, good dudes. Jalen Suggs, good guard, like young guards, like guys that any given night, it's the NBA. You can go against guys and get dubbed on. So take a L, go home or whatever. So Mavs really got to, hopefully this is a shocker to everybody throughout the whole organization and they kind of wake up because our next two games coming up, which I'm going to the schedule, is Friday. Next game is Friday against Denver, 7:30. And then after that, we play at home again against Denver. It's back-to-back against Denver at home. Play Friday, and then we play Sunday against Denver. And that one on Sunday is at 6:30 for y'all, so y'all know. But yeah, back-to-back against Denver. I think Joker probably will be available. He went to the NBA protocol, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure he'll be available for at least one of these games, if not both. I think both. He'll be available by Friday for that game. Hopefully not for the Mavs' sake, but I think he will because the whole chance to be able to the matchup to be able to play Luka, that's gonna be really fun. So hopefully he does play. Just for as a basketball fan, I would love to see that. And Mavs got to figure things out. So we got to go against some good quality competition and figure some shit out because they definitely need to. Because this was not a good night, not a good running for the Mavs as they fall, as I said, and sad. Anyway, if you want to follow on Twitter, it's at Mavs_rundown. Yo, you can find this podcast wherever you're listening. And if you don't know, it's free on YouTube along with Spotify and Anchor app. I'm AG. Thanks for listening, y'all. Remember, cool heads prevail. And I'll see y'all next time on the Mavs Rundown.